Hello my friends, Retro here as always, and today I'm going to bring you my late summer pickups. So let's get it started. So as I was saying, this summer was excellent to get some cool pickups locally in a lot of flea markets. I ended up getting stuff that I usually don't get, and it's all not 100% game related. It ends up being game related when it comes to topics, but they're not games. That's what I was trying to say. So the first thing I found, it was something I never saw before, but I thought it was so cool, so I ended up bringing it for my own collection. I don't have a working VHS yet, but I think it will be cool as soon as I get one to see, and it is Tekken, the animated movie. I never saw this before. I didn't even know this existed, Tekken animated movie, and I think it's pretty cool. Something cool to add to my collection. It ends up of course being game related. In the back it has a publicity about Tekken 3. Pretty cool, as you guys can see. So I ended up joining it to my collection. I do end up joining video games and stuff that I remember, pop culture of course, related from back in the 90s and the 80s that I love. And this is not an exception. So Tekken the movie is now in my collection, and I think it's pretty cool. What else did I find? I found something that I never saw before. It's pretty cool. It's an easy reading. Yes, I'm going to talk about a book. This is the first time I'm talking about a book on my channel, but it's a book about one of my favorite NES games that I had in my childhood, that is Gremlins 2. This is the book about Gremlins, the first movie. And it's a Steven Spielberg book, of course, presents Gremlins. It's in Portuguese, but it's still cool. And this was something my wife spotted out in a flea market because I didn't see it. And it was so cheap, I ended up bringing it. And I read it. It's pretty cool. And it has cool illustrations of the movie. And it is, of course, the Gremlins book, as I just said before. And it's pretty cool. And, hey, it's something that brings me a lot of nostalgia from back in the day. Let me see if I can find some illustrations here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. It's pretty cool. It is pretty accurate to the movie. There you go. Excellent book. Excellent little book. I had a lot of fun reading this. Something else that I found extra cheap, and once again it's not 100% related to games. I know in new consoles there is a game of Evil Dead, but back in the day there was no Evil Dead game, at least in the genres that I collect, and it is Evil Dead Trilogy in DVD. These are excellent. These are pretty cool. Of course, I already seen them all, and this was extra complete. It even brings a CD with musics from the movies. Pretty cool, as you guys can see. These have all the 3 movies and an extra DVD with cuts and some musics from the movies, and this is pretty cool, and it has a wicked style to it. Just love it. A little manual with all the stuff that you have on the DVDs and extras about the movies, and nothing else to say but hail to the king, baby. This was so cheap. Damn. There was a Spawn movie there too, but that Spawn version really doesn't get my attention. I like the movie, but I do not like that Spawn animated film that it was there at the flea market. So I ended up only bringing the Evil Dead trilogy, and I had to add it to my collection. Now down to games. Something that is not a flea market pickup, but was sent to me by a friend, and it was dear to him, but he had the version complete in the box now, and he said, "My friend, I'll send you my childhood copy." And it is finally A Legend of Zelda in English. PAL, but English. Because why? In my zone of Portugal, and in Portugal in general, 99% of the copies that show up are English. No, they're German and French. Nothing against German, nothing against French. When it's French, I can understand so, but in German, God, no. And finally, he had the cool attitude of selling me his copy of Zelda at a nice price, and it is an English version. And my friend, this is staying in my collection. I'm not going to sell this for anything. Even if I get an upgrade, I'll just keep the box and the manuals and keep your copy from back in the day, because it has nostalgia to you and it's going to be well conserved. So my friend, thank you for the copy of Zelda, in English, finally, and I'm very happy with that. Something else that I found at a flea market, and has a funny story, and it's one of those friendship things once again. I found a copy of Golden Axe on the Master System at an excellent price. The only thing I wanted from the game was the manuals. So, it was a friend of mine that was looking around for the game, and he said, "Oh, you got that game there? Do you want it?" I said, "Actually, I have it." So I ended up selling the game to him at an excellent price, and I said, "The only thing I want is the manuals." He said, "No problem." It was a win-win. He got the game, I got the manuals. My game is more complete, and he finally has the game. So I ended up keeping both manuals for Golden Axe on the Master System. Pretty good shape. The game was in pretty good shape too. So it's a little add to my collection. And it was a win-win. My friend won, I won, everybody was happy. And that's what it's all about. This morning, I went down to my local flea market in Lourinhã, Portugal. There's never anything in this flea market. Used to be back in the day, now it's hard as hell to find anything. And I gave one go around all the flea market, and the second time I was going around the flea market, I found somebody that was an old person that was putting his stuff still on his bench. And I spun in a bag and I said, "Hey, my friend, what do you want for that?" And he said, "I want this." And it was extra cheap. And I found 3 Mega Drive games. This might seem very common to you guys, but finding games in Lourinhã, Portugal, in a flea market nowadays is almost impossible. And at an excellent price. So I was very happy. 2 of them I already have. One of them I'm going to keep one manual and sell the other one with the other manual to a friend. And one of the games I'm actually going to keep. This one, unfortunately, the cover, the box art cover, went to the war and came back. But hey, I'll end up doing a relabel or getting an upgrade in the future. But pretty happy to have the game. And it is Micro Machines Turbo Tournament 96. As you can see, the box is in awful state. As you can see, it seems like it was up somebody's ass, but it still is the game, and I'm pretty happy with it. So it's an add to my collection. I'll end up doing a relabel or getting an upgrade. Taking that out, the game is complete with both manuals. Pretty cool. A game that in Portugal is more than common. It's like going to a flea market and finding a PS2 game. It is FIFA 96. Complete, both manuals once again. Pretty cool. Hey, I already have it. I already have those manuals. But hey, somebody's going to want it. And I'll end up doing a trade or selling it cheap. And it's all good. I couldn't leave it there. It'd be a crime. And the last one is going to my friend Jeronim. It needs a little relabel. It's curious as it has a little sticker of Blockbuster on the back in Portugal. And at the same time, it has a sticker of Echo Films. That was a Sega distributor back here in Portugal. Pretty cool mix of stickers. I thought that was hilarious. But it is complete with both manuals. I'm going to keep one of the manuals that I don't have in my collection and sell the Desert Strike copy with one manual to my friend Jeronim at an excellent price, the same price I bought him for myself. Of course, he's going to do a relabel normally because this box is in bad shape too. But hey, it's still Desert Strike, complete in the box with both manuals. So this was my little pickups of the end of the summer, because the summer's not going to end right now, but I don't believe I'm going to do any more game finding in big scale. Of course, I found a lot of PS1, PS2, Game Boy, and other stuff that I do not collect personally, but I do get because it helps to maintain my collection, and it helps to get good material to trade too. So it ends up being also all good. So my friends, nothing else to say. Hope you had a great summer. Hope you found some good stuff too. And my friends, be well.